Hello everybody and welcome to my quick guide to the Hildebrandt Palace in Lost Ark. Now this is technically a 2-boss dungeon. The first fight is against the Phantom Legion Queen, and then the second and third fight are both against Belshazzar, but they are essentially different phases. The most important mechanic in the first fight are the mirrors. Throughout the fight, the boss will spawn a wave on one side of the room that will move to the other side of the room, and you have to avoid it by using mirrors to teleport around. The catch here is that there are different colors of mirrors. There's purple, white, yellow, red and blue. The purple mirror will always teleport you on top of the boss, so I would not recommend using that one. You can actually use it to avoid the wave, but it's just far riskier than using any of the other colors. So you're gonna have to pay attention here and actually pick the right mirror fairly swiftly, because the wave moves pretty fast, and if it as much as touches you, you're gonna get one shot. Now the way you deal with this is actually extremely straightforward. When the wave first spawns, you simply check the color of the mirrors on the wall where the wave is spawning. In this case we have a blue mirror right there, so the entire party goes to the other blue mirror, which is right here, and as soon as the wave starts moving, we teleport to the other mirror, just like so. And you always get two waves back to back, so here's the second wave, and in this case the correct mirror is yellow. The most important thing here is that you don't panic, because you don't have to worry about the boss during this phase, because you will go to the center of the room and not cast anything else until this is done. There is one more mechanic that's worth mentioning on this boss though, because even though it doesn't one-shot you, I see people get caught out by it a lot, and it's this one right here, where you have 4 big AoE hits with a moving safe spot. And the way you deal with this one is actually very straightforward as well. When she starts charging the ability, you will see 2 orbs rotate outwards from the boss, and they will either rotate clockwise or counterclockwise. In this case, they're rotating counterclockwise. This shows you in which direction the safe spot is going to rotate, which in this case was counterclockwise. So make sure you're running in the right direction, because if you get hit by all 4 of these pulses, it's gonna hurt a lot, or if you're not feeling it, simply run out of the range of it. Also, towards the end of the fight, you get a different type of wave that you need to avoid as well, but this one is fairly self-explanatory because it has an opening or 2 that you simply have to run through. The second boss fight is in my opinion the easiest, but there's still one mechanic that you need to do properly. So throughout the fight, the boss will tilt the arena and a bunch of boulders will start rolling down. You need to avoid these as much as possible because they will damage you and they will push you back, and if they push you all the way back to the grinder, you're not gonna have a great time. The important thing here is that periodically one person will get a massive red indicator underneath their character, which you can see right here, and that person needs to try and stay on top of the boss. Because after a while, a meteor will come crashing down, and if you hit the boss with it, it will stun her and end this phase. You need to try and do this as fast as possible, because it is very difficult to fight the boss while also avoiding the rolling boulders. And that's pretty much it for this fight. If you can avoid the boulders and hit the boss with the falling meteor, you're good to go. Now the final third fight is where it gets really spicy, because this one has a bunch of stagger checks that will wipe you if you fail them, and it has a wipe mechanic on top of that. So in the beginning of the fight, the boss will go through multiple stagger checks that are accompanied by a cutscene. You need to break through her stagger for the big dude to actually crush her and stop her from one-shotting the entire party. These, depending on your party's DPS, can happen almost back to back, so make sure you have a ton of stagger damage on your skills, or you have clay or whirlwind grenades which have high stagger damage as well. It's actually a good idea to not go all out in the beginning of the fight to make sure you have some stagger damage when this happens. Now, the wipe mechanic on this fight, it can be somewhat unintuitive at first, but it's actually been changed and made a little bit easier. So towards the end of the fight, the boss will start doing this mechanic where she will put a red X over one character and the other 3 characters will have like a yellow cone in front of them. Now, if you get the red X, this mechanic is pretty simple because you just need to stand still. But if you get the cone, you need to position your character so that the character with the red X is inside the cone. The reason you do this is because the one person with the red X is about to be hit by a massive meteor that will follow them around. But if all 3 people manage to get that character into their cone, it detaches the meteor from them so that everyone can run out of the AoE. Now, you used to be able to sack the person with the meteor and hope that you have enough damage to kill the boss, but you can't do that anymore. If you fail to do this mechanic properly, everyone will be teleported on top of the red eggs and will die to the meteor. It is also important that once you point your thing at the red eggs, you keep pointing your thing at the red eggs until the meteor starts falling, because the detachment only happens once the meteor starts falling. And then you just need to haul ass, because the meteor comes crashing down pretty fast. And that's pretty much it for the boss and for the Hildebrandt Palace as a whole. So I thank you very much for watching as always, guys. I hope you have enjoyed the video and found it helpful. I wish you good luck in the Hildebrandt Palace, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.